If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
I mean, it is Monday Night Live from High Top Centimonium. I know it's a little
bit dreary.
I'm noticing it's kind of a regulars crowd out here tonight. Like, I'm just noticing that, Brendan.
Yes.
We have some loyals here. We got to thank our loyals and give it up to our loyals that are here tonight.
Everybody, young guys. As our friend Ada was telling me earlier, you know who the real fans are on a day like today, right? You know who the real fans are.
Absolutely.
Our host is Brendan Ayanbadejo. You know him, linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens. Brendan, go ahead and introduce the man you brought with you tonight.
Well, I have a very special guest tonight, Jameel McClain, starting linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens. We came into Baltimore together in 2008, and a lot of faces have come and gone, but this guy's just continued to shine and shine brighter and brighter every year. So very proud of this young man. He's one of those guys that just comes to work and he wants to get better. And it's easy to be around people like that because they make everything at work better, and he goes out there, he works hard, and you can see him getting better every day, and every game he plays better. And you know, he started out as a special teams guy like me, and now he's a starting linebacker. So welcome to the show, and we're very happy to have you tonight, Jameel. Thank you for coming out, baby.
Hey, shout out to Brendan. That was a nice introduction. I like that one.
He worked on that all day, actually.
He did a great job.
He was going to mention that you were a Pisces and all those things, but I told him to scratch that.
Yeah,
I said,
that'd have been good. That'd have been good.
He likes long walks on the beach.
It's funny because we had Carrie out last week, and Jameel's story a little bit similar. You know, a guy that had to fight coming in, that wasn't a high draft pick, that wasn't a guy that anybody said, hey, here's rock star, he's absolutely, you had to fight for everything you got, and it makes it a little bit more fulfilling now, starting linebacker for a couple of seasons, I assume, to say, hey, look, I've proved everything I needed to prove thus far.
No, I still got a lot to prove, man, and that title is basically nobody's favorite, and that's how the game is taught. You know, when I came in, Brendan, you know, this was my mentor. This was someone that was guiding me and showing me the ropes and telling me how to play this game at the highest level. So I got a lot of things to prove and a long way to go, and I'm just working, man. With people like him on my side, I'll be good.
A little bit of a mutual admiration society thing we got going on up here.
Nothing but respect.
Say something mean about Brendan Ayanbadejo, can you? Because I've always...
I hate his muscles. I want them.
Oh man, I seen this guy doing sit-ups the other day with Ellerby. They was crunching for like 30 minutes. All I did was just lift up my shirt, and I was like, some guys have them and some guys don't.
Pretty good. I do that sometimes too, but the results aren't quite as good. Let's just get to it. Tough day yesterday, obviously, and you know we like having fun out here. We're going to keep having fun, but we all know that clearly you guys didn't go to Seattle to lose. That wasn't the plan when you guys went up there. There's a 24-hour rule, we know that, but for you personally, and for both of you, we'll start, Jameel, with you. How long does it take to wash something like that out of your mind at all?
The wins get out of my system the same as the losses. You know, they all disappear on Monday. You know, so it's something that you got to get over because it's the next game. You know, for me, you can't dwell on it. You can't dwell on your victories just like you can't dwell on your losses because it's the NFL. It's the next game, and you got a lot of games going. So Monday, they be out of my system.
BA, for you, I mean, you say Monday, everybody thinks so much, but is there still like a lingering bad taste that you need to get back out on the field again to sort of get the way?
Yeah, of course there is, you know, but like Jameel said, you know, we have a big saying, you know, in our facility. It's like, you know, win or loss, you treat those two foes the same. So, you know, get this out of our system on Monday, whether it's a win or a loss, and we're already trying to get better. Regardless if we win or lose, there's always something you can work on. So, you know, yeah, the city is happier, everybody's happier, High Tops is happier, the fans are happier, Twitter's happier. Of course, everything is happier, but, you know, we have a lot of work to do, and as always, the next game is always the most important game. So I watched the film today, went and talked to my position coach, as did Jameel, and we're on to the next.
Well, you just talked about the next game. Does it help that you're coming home after 2 straight road games and you're playing the Cincinnati Bengals, who you're tied with right now in the AFC North? Does that help you to get over this a little bit quicker, given it was difficult, it was tough? I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat that, but knowing you have such a big game against a divisional opponent, does it help a little bit, helping you get over that a little bit quicker?
I think it's good that we have a game. It's a divisional game, and it's against an opponent where we can separate ourselves from the rest of the AFC, the AFC North. You know, is Pittsburgh up this week? Or they
have a bye this week.
So they have a bye this week, right. So we can go and we win this week, then we're back in first place.
Right.
So so I mean, I think, you know, it's perfect timing for this game to happen for us. You know, instead of playing San Francisco or some other team where, you know, we can't really set ourselves apart. We're not in control of our own destiny. this week, playing them, we're in control of our own destiny. So everything is working out just fine.
Jameel, when do you start looking at the standings? Like, at what point in the season it is okay for you to know where you are? You always know what your record is, but when is it okay to start looking at things like that?
I never look at it, and I'm being honest. I never look at it. I only know who we playing the next week when that next week comes. I'm one of the guys that live day by day, like truly. Like, I play that game like it's my last, and I look at that game like it's going to be my last, and then next week I'm preparing and going all out, all against the wall for that one. So I never look at the standings. I know from my teammates, like, I know how good we doing, or I know where we stand, or I know what our defense is ranked. But if nobody never told me, I would never know.
So there's no looking at scores when you get home on a Sunday night. You just sort of.
I don't even watch TV.
It's probably for the best sometimes.
See, the thing about Jameel is he's always going to do what he has to do so he can be the best for his team, so he can be the best Raven that he can be. He's not worried about outside influences, outside threats, or whatever. He's going to do what he has to do so he's the best Raven that he can be, and he's going to look at just one day at a time and who we have up that week. So, today he did treatment, he lifted weights, he watched film. He's not worried about anything else that's going on around outside, and that's the good thing about being a young guy. It's like, it's like ignorance is bliss in a way, because you're not going to go look at all those other things, and then you're going to just, everything you look at, oh, what are the Steelers doing? Oh, what's Cincinnati doing? You keep stacking, the stress on your back. He's going to look, okay, what does Jameel have to do so he can play the best that he can play against Cincinnati? And that's the difference, when you're a young guy, you're just going to look at those things, what you can do to be the best, instead of someone else where you're jostling for position, and you're thinking what all these other teams are doing. Like, on the plane ride home, I was talking to Ray Lewis. He knows everybody's schedule. He knows who the Steelers are playing every game for the rest of the season. He knows who New England is playing every game for the rest of the season. He's like, man, New England ain't got nobody. And, he obviously, so we play. So, like, he looks at the game differently. He has all these years in, and he's trying to see, how we can jostle ourselves and position ourselves to control, have home game or, away game, win our division. Then what do we have to do? Who has the best record? But Jameel, he doesn't see the game like that right now. And in a way, it's kind of better just to have tunnel vision.
You mentioned being the best player, being the best teammate that you can be right now, and coming out of a loss. How much more is that introspective that you say, here are tangible things? I know both of you probably take it a little bit personally when you lose, and especially you guys hate giving up big 100-yard rushing games. I know you hate things like that. So what do you do moving forward? How do you say to yourself, here's how I can be better next week?
You critique the film hard. I watched the film 3 times on the plane alone, and today I watched it 2 times, so I critique myself. I critique how I could do things better, what I could do to try to make a play, what I could do to make sure I don't miss a tackle, or to make sure the substitutions get in quicker for me and Brendan, so I critique myself to the fullest. I look at myself like it was my fault that it happened, even though sometimes it may not be one person's fault, but you got to take it like that, because that's the only way you get better, to make sure you alleviate any problems or any mistakes or anything that could leave a reasonable doubt in your mind. So you look at that film, you put it to work, and everything that I critique throughout that film is everything I'm emphasized throughout the whole week. That's going to be my perspective. Like, I got to do this right. I got to do this right. I got to make sure I'm on top of this, and that's basically how I think you get better from an individual perspective. But as a team, you come out and you come hard. You practice hard. You hit meetings hard. You get there early. You stay there late. You do all of those things because, at the end of the day, this is our life, but this is the playoffs on the line. This is everything that we all work for and we dream for since we was kids to be in this game. So you just get better.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.